one of the most surprising things that happened this past weekend. I was actually going to come out and do breaking news. However, I felt like this subject was very delicate and I did not want to come with any breaking news when I found out about the information. But one of the biggest surprises is when Dr. Tony Evans, he's the mega church pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship there in Texas. He stepped down as the senior pastor at the church. A lot of folks were very surprised by this. He did release an official statement, which is still available now in order to be read. And in the statement that was released, he said that he fell short of a standard. He said, I therefore am required to apply the same biblical standard of repentance and restoration to myself that I have applied to others. There is also a lot of speculation, y'all, around why he actually might be stepping down. And whenever, I got this from a different YouTuber, but when you think about it, whenever folks are vague just about what happened and they're not like necessarily detailed, it does leave a lot of room for interpretation, whether it's right or whether it's actually wrong. And when you're dealing with mega church pastors and individuals who have access to so many people and they change so many lives and so many people look to them for either guidance or counsel, whatever that might look like, it's definitely it's a different level. There's people who are at the church who are surprised, who seem to be very hurt by this, maybe. Again, a lot of speculation. A lot of this is just speculation. I think that he did a great job with the statement in terms of just, listing out all of the things, getting it all out, paraphrase. He's a great writer, by the way. So, of course, the statement that he released gives a very good description of exactly what he wants to share. But the fact that it's not detailed does leave a lot of room for speculation. I will say this, while it is definitely a surprise, and a lot of folks are looking to probably see what the church is going to look like going forward. Even though Pastor Tony Evans stepped down, it does look like, according to the statement, he's still going to stay there as a member of the congregation. He also just got married. He actually got remarried, excuse me. At one point in time, he was married long term to Dr. Lois Evans, who has a pastor's wives ministry YouTube channel, which I used to watch all the time. And then also, they built the ministry together from the ground up, from scratch there in the Dallas, Texas area, and has remained committed to that plan. And she passed away in 2019. I think it was around December. And he did get remarried in December of 2023 to Carla Crummy. They did have a private ceremony. And I think whenever you are transitioning when it comes to leadership and there's a lot of change happening at the same time, even when you're the person and it is the change and it's happening to you, because Dr. Tony Evans is also going through a lot of shifts and changes. The church is going through a lot of shifts and changes because they lost their first lady. Now there's a new lady that is, coming in who promised, hey, she's definitely not trying to remove or take the legacy away from Dr. Lois Evans. But I will say this. I think that there's some pastors out here who can learn from Dr. Tony Evans. I know there's a lot of people who are upset and mad that why we don't got all the details. Okay, well, he trying to get ahead of something. Okay, well, maybe, could be. It could also be, in my opinion, that he got a wife and he's 70 something, his wife is 50 something. Come on now, y'all want to listen, I want to stay biblical because we're talking about somebody who is of the cloth. Come on, but you know what I mean. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all out here worrying this man. He can go and enjoy his new wife. Hello, somebody. I also want to say that his new wife, Carla Crummy, she also became a caregiver for her father when her mother passed away. So in terms of having something relatable, it sounds like they were both dealing specifically with grief. Tony was not only dealing with the grief of his wife in 2019, he also lost his father. I can't remember if it was before or after that. And he also lost his niece as well. And those were just the deaths that was publicly shared with us. We don't know what could have happened on a personal level. In terms of leadership, not talking about the fact that the statement that was released was a little vague. I want to say that when it comes to leadership, this is what leaders are supposed to do. This is exactly what leaders are, and more specifically, leaders who are at that church house. This is exactly what's supposed to happen. When you fall into a discretion of sin, which again, he did not name exactly what that sin was, but when you fall into that discretion of sin, that's exactly what should happen. Pastors like John Gray could learn from this. I'm going to stop. Let me stop. Okay. I'm not going to be naming any more pastors, but any pastor who's ever fell short, okay, I believe that what Tony Evans has done is an example of what should be done whenever there is a transgression that has been, or a sin that has come up. Now, Tony also said in the statement that it wasn't anything that was illegal. So a lot of folks are leaning towards more of it's something along the lines of the infidelity-ish, something along those lines. But again, he wasn't specific. In the statement, he also said that this happened years ago. We're just not we just wasn't privy to how long ago this could have been. I've gotten a little bit of info from some of the critics right here at the Critic Chronicles who feel that maybe somebody at the church was mad because they wasn't the ones who was chosen, and it was a different partner who was chosen for Dr. Tony Evans. Again, speculation, but you know what happens when folks don't get what they want? They come through and they're like, I'm gonna tell the following. So it sounds like to some folks, some of the critics, they think that Tony's just trying to get ahead of something, which he definitely could be. But in terms of, is this what you're supposed to do when you mess up as a pastor or in the church? I absolutely believe that this was the way to go in terms of any transgressions that someone may have had who was in this particular ministry. Additionally, I can probably talk more about Pastor Tony Evans, but I will leave it there. And I also share with you that a lot of Pastor Tony Evans' work can be found on Hoopla as well, including Kingdom Woman, including Kingdom Marriage, Kingdom Single, and then he did a book with his children after the passing of his first wife, and it's called Divine Disruption. That's also available as well. So I want to give a special shout out to everybody who is listening to me this morning. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate the additional new subscribers that we have as well. And thank y'all for starting to actually put things in the comments. I appreciate it, critics, because I definitely want to know what you think about all of the things. All righty. So listen, if you missed this past weekend's episodes, you can still watch. On this past Sunday, we discussed rapper Bun B's Intruder being sentenced. We also talked about Bad Boys 4 being a hit because we knew back on Sunday. And then also Joey Badass starting a mentoring program, while Brandy and Monica made cameos in Ariana Grande's brand new The Boy Is Mine video. Alrighty, I also talk a little bit about the Us Magazine's June 11th issue, and I go black on the inside. Be sure to check out this description box below. And review our channel for more critical news that you can use. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.